Hey, what's up guys, it's DarkraiTV here, and I attempted a Pokemon Y Nuzlocke. Like the title of the video suggests, I'll only be using dragon types in this Nuzlocke. Unlike in past games, there's actually loads of dragon encounters available. There's a total of 13 in this game, so creating a badass team shouldn't be very hard. Although dragons are super powerful, fairy typing was introduced in this gen to balance out these Pokemon, and as there is a fairy and an ice type gym, this challenge won't be a complete walk in the park. Dragon types will be fairly mediocre throughout most of this playthrough, as most dragons only evolve to their final form past level 48, but when they do finally evolve, they'll be unstoppable. To add some extra spice to this challenge, I'll be banning Mega Evolution, which means I won't be able to use certain Mega Evolutions such as Mega Ampharos. The available encounters for this run are Dragonite, Flygon, Kingdra, Altaria, Salamence, Garchomp, Haxorus, Druddigon, Hydreigon, Tyrantrum, Goodra, Noivern, and Dragalge, which is a Y exclusive. The rules for this Nuzlocke are as follows. All fainted Pokemon must be permaboxed. There's no leveling past the gym leader's ace, and for the Elite 4, the cap will be 65. In-game items are also not allowed. I must catch the first dragon type encounter on each route, and finally, dupes clause. I'll have more on these rules in the description down below. Quickly before we start, make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoy this kind of content. Over 96% of you watching aren't subscribed, it only takes a second and really helps us smaller creators. Thanks guys, let's get started. I start off by choosing Chespin as my starter and I name him Chessie. I don't go for Fennekin as the first gym would have been too hard to handle, but we'll still have to face Greninja and trust me, that fight will not be easy. I take on the first gym leader, Viola, and as I've learned Rollout, this shouldn't be much of a challenge. Just like that, we have our very first gym badge. After Chessie evolves, we run into a Snorlax, and I have to admit, I couldn't relate to this line anymore. I then find our first encounter, an Axew, I catch her and I call her Brax. She has a naughty nature, which is amazing for her insanely high attack. Then, on the way to the second gym, we find a Bagon, who we end up calling Clyde. He has a docile nature, which is fine I guess. We are then handed the Jaw Fossil, which is restored into a Tyrant, who I call Rex. His nature is bold, which really isn't amazing here. Now for the second gym leader, Grant, who's a Mora I'm not looking forward to. I lead with a Rock Smash while he goes for a Thunder Wave. Then goes for a takedown and barely survives, but so do we. He goes down right after though. Next up is his Tyrant. I'm forced to switch out to Axew here. I go for a dual chop and nearly take him out. I know he'll heal, so I repeat this. Afterwards I switch out due to my lowered speed. I send out Clyde and finish this battle off with a Rock Smash. After Clyde evolves into a Shelgon, we head to the Tower of Mastery and battle Serena for the Mega Ring. Meowstic uses Psybeam and hits hard, but Payback ends up finishing her off. Absol's up next and I switch out to Clyde. I get crit by Slash and then hit Rock Smash. One more takes the Absol out. Braixen's next and I switch out again. Rex easily tanks a Psybeam and after slowing down Braixen, he goes down to another Rock Tomb. We then challenge Korrina. Mienfoo's up first and as he can't do much against Brax, I set up with Dragon Dance. Once ready, I go for a Dragon Claw and one-shot Mienfoo. Hawlucha's up next, but my setup is too strong and she gets KO'd. Not even Machoke stands a chance to a Dragon Claw. Nice try, Korrina. We then find a Skrelp who we end up calling Cyano. She has a sassy nature which is pretty decent. Right after this, I end up finding a Gible who turns out to be an easy catch. I name him Bunny. His nature is once again docile. He then evolves right away and turns into a Gabite, which definitely is a huge upgrade. We battle Serena here and lead with Rex. Meowstic goes for a Fake Out to make Rex flinch. After lowering her defense with a Crunch, she goes for a Psybeam and goes down shortly after. Serena sends out Braixen, so I switch out to Bunny. I go for a Stab Dig here, but Braixen lives and it's a Psybeam but barely makes a dent. I then take him down with a Dragon Claw. Next up is Absol and I go for a Dig. After one more, Absol goes down and so does our rival. We then challenge the fourth gym leader, Ramos. I lead with Rex against his jump bluff and start off with a Rock Tomb after getting hit by Acrobatics. I keep on using Rock Tomb while he stalls with Hyper Potions. I eventually lower his speed to the point where I'm faster and then I take him out. Go-Goat's up next and after he misses his takedown, I hit a crit Crunch which lowers his defense. I get hit by Grass Knot and then score the win. Weepinbell's last, so I go for Bunny here. He really doesn't stand a chance as I go for Dragon Claw. Half the gyms are done. I take on Clemont next and go for Rock Tomb. Emolga goes for Volt Switch though and switches to Magneton. I then switch to Bunny whose typing advantage serves us well here. Emolga's up next so I go for Clyde again. I go for Rock Tomb and manage to hit this time. I try again but he switches out to Heliolisk. I then predict his Thunderbolt and switch to Bunny due to his immunity. One dig then finishes the battle off. Emolga sent out for the last time, but can't escape this time. Nice try, Clement. After this, Axu finally evolves into a Fracture, making him way more viable. Tyrant evolves into our first final stage dragon here. This makes him an absolute monster, literally. I take him on a test run against Serena, and to no surprise, this battle is very one-sided. Meowstic goes down to 1 crunch, and Delphox goes down to a Rock Tomb. Absol manages to survive a Rock Smash and do some damage, but goes down right after. I find Goomy here, and after catching him, I name him Goofy Goober. He has a bold nature. I train him right after, and he evolves into a Sliggoo. I then take on the 6th gym. I lead with Brax against Mawile due to her poor moveset. I start my setup with Dragon Dance here, and I make Brax unstoppable. I go for a dig here and take out Mawile. Mr. Mimosal goes down to a Poison Jab. Now for her ace, Sylveon. His fairy typing here does pose a threat, but even he can't survive a Poison Jab. The level cap for the next gym is 48, which is coincidentally the level where lots of dragon types evolve. Fractures first, and he evolves into a Haxorus. Cyano2 evolves at level 48 and turns into a Dragalge. Bunny's up last, and we finally get the most sought after dragon, Garchomp. I'd like to see anybody stand a chance against this team. Olympia's up now, and I lead with Haxorus. Sigilif's not particularly scary, so I set up with Dragon Dance. I use up her Hyper Potions and then Dragon Dance once more, and then finish the job. Slowking's up next, but doesn't last long as one Dragon Claw takes him down. Meowstic makes Brax flinch here, but this only slows down her death as she is also one-hit KO'd. 1 gym left to go. Shelgon finally evolves into a Salamence, turning him into an absolute beast. I then have the choice of going for the red pill or the blue pill. Of course I go for the red switch. After this, we take on this funky bird, and we're forced to catch him. This better not count as an encounter. We then face Lysander and his army of 3 metal mosquitoes. He leads with Mienshao, and I start setting up with Haxorus. I'm scared of a high jump kick here, so I go for a dig. He actually does go for it, and then I easily take him out after. Pyroar is up next, so I keep setting up here. He actually does do a decent chunk of damage here, so I go for a dig and I take him out. I go for one more Swords Dance against Honchkrow, and he ends up getting a crit with a Night Slash. He can't do much else though. Last up is Lysander's Gyarados, who's gonna Mega Evolve here. I wonder if he can tank one Dragon Claw. He does look pretty strong. Of course not. He stands no chance. Lysander goes down, but more importantly, so do his mosquitoes. Who doesn't hate them? Lysander's Death Machine then self-destructs, but somehow we survive. Very logical, Game Freak. Kalos' ultimate champion Sycamore then challenges me. His Venusaur is tough, but goes down to 1 fly. Blastoise gets taken out too, and so does Charizard. What a tough battle. Now for the Greninja fight I was talking about earlier. Shauna leads with Delcatty, while I start with Salamence. After somehow tanking a fly, she goes down to a Dragon Breath. Gudra's up next, and he's crazy tanky. He survives the Dragon Breath with ease, forcing me to switch out to Cyano. I thought his special defense would save him here, but I forgot that Gudra has Earthquake, and I go down here. My bad, Cyano. I didn't get to use you much, but I'm sure you were great. I then switch to Bunny to avenge Cyano. I take out Gudra with a critical hit on Dragon Claw. Greninja's up last, and I decide to lead with Dragon Claw while she goes for Psybeam. She then goes for Double Team for some reason, and we take her out. You played well, Shauna. Good job. We then take on the 8th, and by far the toughest gym of them all, the Ice-type gym. I lead with Bunny here, and I've given him a Yacha Berry to tank any Ice-type move. I go for a Swords Dance here to set up, and then go for a Brick Break to take a Bulbasaur out. Next up is Croagonnal, who also goes down to a single Brick Break. Now for the real challenge, Avalog. I switch out to Goober to sacrifice him. Thank you for your service. I then switch to Rex. He has a Rock Incense equipped, so we go for a Head Smash. He barely survives, but for some reason he goes for a Curse. I then go for an Earthquake, but he uses a Hyper Potion. I then go for one more Head Smash, it ends up being a crit, and easily takes him out. That was close. Here we come, Elite Four. We then make our way to Victory Road, and we take on Serena for the last time. This time, we lead with Haxorus and start off with Swords Dance. Meowstic goes down to 1 Dragon Claw. Altaria's up next, and yup, she goes down too. Next up is Delphox. I go for a dig here, this lets me heal up with leftovers, and I take her out too. Absol is next, and he can't handle a Dragon Claw. Last but not least, a Jolteon. We go for yet another dig and finish off the battle. GG Serena. I then find a Dredagon in Victory Road, and after nearly taking him out, I call her Spike. She has a modest nature which is pretty bad, as it lowers attack. I make it to the lead 4, and without further ado, here we go. Wikström's up next, so I lead with Bunny against his Steel-type team. I go with Swords Dance while he goes for Spikes. After this, I go for a Brick Break, and then go for Swords Dance yet again. Bye bye Klefki. Next up is Probo Pass. I go for Dragon Claw to remove his Sturdy, and take him out right after. He then sends out Aegislash, who protects stalls to lower my defense. I then set up one last time, and go for a Crunch to finish him off. Caesar's up last, and he actually manages to tank a Dragon Claw. After a couple more heals, he finally goes down, and just like that, the first member is beat. Next up is the Dragon-type wielder, Dresna. I go for a Dragon Claw with Brax and end up getting a crit. Not bad. Then comes Altaria. I go for a Swords Dance first, while Altaria counters it with Cotton Guard. He still goes down to a Dragon Claw though. Now for Noivern. She actually manages to damage us quite well, but she also easily gets knocked out. Last but not least is her all-powerful Jodigon. She manages to do better than most, and actually hits us with Rough Skin, but that's about all she does. GG Dresna. We then take on the second to last Elite Four member. Pyroar's up first, and I start setting up due to her poor moveset. I go for 2 Swords Dances, and then take her out with a dig. Talonflame's next, and she actually gets a crit here and nearly takes us out. But she too falls to a Dragon Claw. Torkoal's not going to do much here either. Chandelure also goes down to a super effective dig. Now, onto the final Elite Four member, Seabolt. He has a Clawitzer whose ability is Mega Launcher, and this boosts his Dragon Pulse by 50%, so I have to be very careful here. I go for 1 Swords Dance and then easily take him out. Gyarados is up next, so I choose to switch to a Sacrificial Spike. Try and say that 5 times fast. I was so surprised at how well she tanked Ice Fang. I choose to go for an Outrage here and tank yet another hit. He then misses and I take him out. What are the odds? Starmie's next, and here Spark finally goes down. You've done amazing, champ. I send out Salamence and then I go for Crunch. I barely survive, but still manage to take the win. Only Barbaracle is left, and so I switch to Brax. I set up here with a Swords Dance just in case, and then go for a dig to finish off the battle. Only the champion left to go. Here we come, Diantha. Let's see what you can do. I lead with Brax against Hawlucha, and I start setting up. I go for 2 Swords Dances here, and then go for the takedown with Dragon Claw. Aurora's up next, and I go for Dig. This allows for me to heal up with leftovers, and easily take him out right after. She then sends out Gudra, who can't even handle a Dragon Claw. I once again heal up with Dig, and land another one-shot. Diantha goes with Gourgeist, but the sweep continues. Next up, her ace, Mega Gardevoir. She's definitely one of the most powerful Pokemon I've had to face so far. There's no way I can... Wait, what? Okay, well, Nuzlocke over, guys. What a sweep, am I right? Dragon types being overpowered turned out to be most definitely true. None of these battles faced too much of a challenge, and this playthrough was a breeze. I must admit, it was a lot of fun though. I definitely recommend all of you watching to try it out. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Remember to like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below on what you'd like to see me do next. Have a good one. Peace out.